Mr. Speaker, you said that the supplemental deal doesn't go far enough. If House Republicans reject a deal that presumably has the support of the Senate and President and unbundle it, how do you have any leverage to go forward on Republican border priorities? What would be the path forward after that?
Well, we'll see how all that develops. I mean, I don't know. You know, this is developing by the hour now on the Senate side. I'm not sure how that's going to go. I believe that they're going to try the test vote on Wednesday, but we'll see how that goes. If ultimately they send that bill over, we will. I mean, I'm not going to put it on the floor in its current form. I've already said that. They're talking about amending it over there. We'll see how that happens. I'm not going to prejudge the outcome, but I'll tell you, we have been working on this in our committees of jurisdiction and as a full body, the House Republicans. Of course, again, we passed H.R. 2, 9 months ago? It's been sitting on Chuck Schumer's desk collecting dust, and that's our position. And again, I explained here in some detail this morning, as you've heard me say many times, this is not for political purposes. It's not messaging points. These are the components that are necessary to solve the problem. If you leave open a gaping loophole, if you give extraordinary authority, as in the Senate's bill, to the very architect of the catastrophe, and you say, hey, you have the legal authority to just waive this, you have the broad discretionary authority as the secretary of the department to change it at will, effectively, it will do no good. And by the way, even if Congress could concoct both houses of Congress and send to the President's desk for signature the greatest border security measure that has ever been designed, we have no faith that Secretary Mayorkas, of course, would enforce it. He doesn't enforce the laws that are on the books now. And that's why the executive authority and the use of it is so critically important, and why the American people are counting on the president to do something. Break the glass, sir. We had 302,000 illegal aliens encountered at the border in December alone. The January numbers are going to be staggering. We're setting new records as we go. If this is not a break the glass moment, I don't know what is. So. Far end over here.
On Ukraine and Israel, you have one country that's been credibly accused of war crimes in its offensive war. You have another country that has undoubtedly had war crimes and atrocities committed against it. Why is it important to fund one more than the other? And if the Senate sends back Ukraine aid twinned with Israel aid, what will you do with that bill?
I don't expect that that's going to happen at this point, but we have to deal with these measures and these issues independently and separately. I think that they merit that. I think they deserve that. What's happening in Israel right now, I mean, I don't have to explain to everyone here how the temperature's been turned up in the region, how we're now retaliating against Iran, at least its proxies in the region, and we have some disputes about the best approach to that as well. But we have lost 3 troops in the last week and a half. We lost 2 Navy SEALs the week before that. I mean, it's a very dangerous region, and we have troops in harm's way, our own troops there right now in harm's way, in addition to Israel being under extreme stress and assault. We still have hostages. We're going to have some of the hostage families here in the next couple of hours, as well as the Speaker of the Knesset, my colleague over there, Speaker Ohana, and Ambassador Herzog and others. So this is an ongoing thing that I believe Israel needs to be decoupled from the border debate and all the rest of this and taken care of, to get that one off the table, and then we'll deal with these deliberate matters. They're important. We'll deliberate with them piece by piece. Let me go front row.
Just to follow up on that, you said a few months ago that you wanted to see a bipartisan agreement on border security and additional aid to Ukraine. Senators said that they did that. So why the reversal now? And if the Senate deal is dead here in the House, what is the path forward on additional aid to Ukraine?
I just explained at the outset here that they actually did not do what you just said we were expecting and had hoped. They did not send us a border security measure. They didn't. They sent us a supplemental funding proposal that has immigration reform but not real border security reform, and so that's why it's a non-starter. They did not fulfill the requirements and the needs of the country, and that's why we have a responsibility to do something different. We'll talk about the Ukraine measure going forward. That's not been abandoned, but there's a lot more work that needs to be done with regard to what the answers that the White House needs to provide us: endgame, strategy, accountability for the funding. All of these very specific details that the House is required to consider when we make such heavy decisions, and we'll continue that. We'll continue seeking the answers from the White House, and we'll process it as we go. Thank you all this morning.